Hello enchanted ones, welcome to part 2 of our dream fairy tale wedding. So last time I saw you, I shared with you how I made the mossy frames, and as you can see I've got some keys left over that guests, I think they accidentally left them because, you know, of course they would have accidentally left them because it's a key and it's a gift. I'm not giving them back to them until they ask me for them. So for now, they're here and I'm gonna keep them here for as long as possible. So I found my key. As you can see, I don't know if you recognize this key, but it's the key I found in my bureau. I actually found out what this key belongs to. This was a long time ago. Oh, Alwyn, stop stealing my thunder. Why is your face so facey? It's like there's a ghosty behind me. The key that was in my bureau 2 years ago, turns out it was from my grandma's next door neighbour's back garden. So it actually is a key to an enchanted secret garden, I suppose, in a way. As you can see on the back of all of these keys, we have our table names. And of course, the top table was Table Iron Man. So I was thinking about mixing the look with the colours that we were after, and we asked Ben's sister, because she's an amazing artist, to do those for us, and oh my goodness did she deliver. It's so cute. I love the gold, the gilding, the gold. It's beautiful. But that's not the only thing that was waiting for them at their tables. Of course, I had to make name places, quite a lot of name places, and along with the keys, I have a lot of these left over too. I actually did these literally a year ago. All right. Cute. I had this vision of little leaves everywhere resting on fir cones. So I started by cutting out 65 leaves with this maple leaf cutter. 65. The first step was to draw the outline of the name on the leaf. Then, using watercolour paint, I covered them in green, and I felt like it created this gradient effect, which I loved. And then I finished off the name with a calligraphy style writing, before making them a little bit more enchanted by adding touches of gold around the edges and also on the leaves themselves. Step was to take the leaves and glue them onto mossy fir cones. Beautiful job. Why didn't we do ivy leaves? Why are we doing maple leaves?
Start all over. Well, you can start all over again.
That's fine. Turns out I didn't video putting them on, so here's the final product instead. Anyway, there is one table place I wanted to make absolutely so unique. One of my bridesmaids had just given birth to a beautiful baby boy. He didn't have a key because I wanted to create something very special for him, and you might figure out his name from this. So this was a long time ago that I made this. It's on my channel. It's one of my first videos I've ever made. It's kind of like an Ostara egg and nest situation. I need to cover all of these sins here. And there's only one way to cover things, guys. And you know what? A little bit of moss, a little bit of mossy moss. This kind of moss too. So 2 different types of moss, long and short. Maybe underneath the egg, I should put a little key. So yes, this nest was a 5-year-old antique at this point, but my glue gun skills in the past were not as good as they were now. So let's make this over. Key. Okay, that is cute. It's a little heart. Oh my gosh, the egg. And then the robin. Yeah. Absolutely perfect. These are all the lovely little tables. Bridesmaid table, close family and friends. Top table, close family and friends. Close family and friends. Close family and friends. Family and friends. Close family and friends. Who have I got? Ricky. Paul. Who have I got? James. Who have I got? Anne. So I just want to make it as easy as possible for people to set up the wedding. We gave these a little bit of a makeover, gosh, like a couple of months ago, and they were just like quite light wood. So we put some moss on them too, and each one of these needs one of those.
on these, there's going to be something very, very special, and I'll cut to it now.
This is Dr. Doom, and yes, he's an enchanted cape there. Love that. Wolverine is looking pretty cool. To be fair, he does match the aesthetic anyway. We do love him. Deadpool. Okay, I love this one so much. I love how it's almost like clear and see-through. I love how she's done that one. Venom. Oh yeah, beautiful yellow tongue. A golden tongue for Venom. Hela. Oh my gosh, all my witchy, strong, confident woman friends were on this table, and I felt like this really matched their energy. So Hela was just one of my favorite tables. And Winter Soldier Bucky, I love him. Again, I love the clear kind of see-through look to his hair. I think that's really cool. Oh, an Iron Man. We did have one more table, Table Punisher, but somebody stole it. Maybe because I loved it so much. So I think I'm going to take that as a compliment. So it was approaching, I think, about 3 weeks before the wedding. I was looking up online seeds because I thought, oh, wouldn't that be amazing for everyone to plant a seed after they come to our wedding, so then those flowers would remind them of our special day. And then I came across something called a bomb, and it's basically like a really thick big seed, and it has loads of seeds within it. So I got them and I saw them and I was thinking, oh my gosh, do these look like little droppings or what? Like little bunny droppings or something? And then I thought, oh my gosh, no, they're not just bunny droppings, they're fairy droppings. I'm throwing them everywhere. So thus was created the next element for the tables, fairy droppings. Dropping. Oh, how was I gonna get it out? Oh well, we won't think about that.
That's such a good point. They might have to smash this.
Oh well.
Now I had completed all the individual elements, it was time to put them all together to create a mock-up of what the table would look like, and to help with people who were going to set up, as I will take pictures of it afterwards.
What do you think will look better, the gold or the green?
What for?
The top table.
Well, it's green, isn't it? It's got to be green, I thought. Shall I start doing topping up the fairy droppings?
The green is so much better. Green's gonna be there, matey, in front of us.
You've run yours.
So we're gonna be like fairy throning around, you know what I'm saying? So that leaves us with the last element of the tables, and that was the centerpieces. So this was the initial plan I gave to my florist. My florist was absolutely amazing. Her name is Business is Blooming, Lucy. Oh, she understood the assignment basically, and she loves Lord of the Rings, so she gets it. Twisted hazel with ivy in a nice tall glass. That was the idea. That's all I kind of gave her, and oh my goodness, did she deliver. And I have one here to show you. Actually, I have two. One's upstairs in the bedroom and one's down here. Again, it's kind of giving these fairy tale secret garden feeling of overgrown. I wanted my guests to be faced with this massive thing in front of them, so they're like, oh, hello. Kind of big and overgrown. Am I still here? There we go. And the catkins, oh, perfect for in bulk in this time of year. This is the ivy actually from the day, but I thought I could just replace the ivy now and keep them going forever, because inside, let's face it, that's a mini terrarium of moss, so I could just keep moistening it and it will be here for years to come. Aha! This is what I was looking for, the top
table. So we wanted something different on the top table. We wanted a centerpiece that mimicked this idea of when two intertwine to become one. And here's what she did. It's like 5 weeks old, but we have catkins, we have fur, things that look like they've been foraged, vines, we have berries with vines, we have, is that a gypsophilia? Dried hydrangeas, the most fairy tale plant ever. And this, 2 sticks intertwined to become one. And I've put a little butterfly on the top of it too, which I think is so cute. So along with some of these very new ideas that I had, and also the collaboration of all the external people, I myself, of course, wanted to just DIY everything in an enchanted way, everything I can get my hands on. If you ever get engaged, you might find that people might give you things. So for example, they might give you a guest book or a wedding planner or something like that. I had a guest book that said, I think like live, laugh, love on it, and I was like, hang on a moment, I was like, that won't do. I guess it was the start of making over everything to look like it's been lost for a million years. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the montage. I need uniformity with everything I made over for the wedding, so let's go table by table, starting with, of course, the guest book table. As you can see, it does not say live, laugh, love, but it might as well do. Best day ever. It's kind of up there. But this was my challenge now. The first thing I did was cover up this seam on the book with a piece of cardboard, and then I completely covered the whole book in crafting foam. As you guessed it, I am to do the leathering effect on the guest book, and I have chosen for the tissue paper a lovely red, which I have no means to use in the future because this is going to be completely covered in brown acrylic. I built up the layers until they were wrinkly in texture and resembled leather, and then it was time to start mapping out what I wanted the front of this to look like. So I continued to build up the crafting foam, creating a circle in the middle and 4 little corners on the outside. Does that look good? What are you doing?
We know your secrets.
What's the secrets?
It's not real leather.
I know. What are you going to do about that, Annie? I then built up a swirly whirly pattern on all 4 corners of the book, and then I painted all of these layers together to be the same tone of brown. I then stippled black paint all in the crevices to make it look old, and of course a million years old. And the key to making anything look enchanted, add gold. I love how it just transforms it by painting it this colour. The plan for the centre of the book was to create a twisted vine of clay, recreating this 2 become 1 idea. I glued the clay down and waited for it to dry and painted it, of course, the regal gold colour. And now it was to find something to put in the middle of the guest book so people would know it's the guest book. So it was the return of the family crest emblem with the sword to represent strength. And bam, the beautiful guest book in which we will keep the memories from our guests forever was created. But there is no guest book without a guest pen pot, and I bought this wooden box and wooden pens from Hobbycraft, but they needed a makeover. The box also came with a little frame upon the side, so it was straight out with the family crest emblem. Of course, the box got made over with some watered down acrylic paint. I popped the emblem inside the frame, and one final touch, of course, drippy moss all over it. with acrylic paint as a base, but also the fairy moss drizzled on top with some PVA glue to hold it into place. This is also to become our pen pot by the front door, so it's going to be multi-versatile. And on to the next thing. And for this, the fairies really gave me a challenge. Oh my word, I cannot believe I even let this colour into my house, let alone my vision. It makes me feel anxious. I can understand who put this in their wedding because of course post boxes are red, but I could see past that now, and I was figuring out that this post box could be a woodland post box of dreams. So the first step was to paint it brown. I mean, why have a red post box when you can have one that literally physically is a tree trunk? That was the vision I had in my mind. Once complete, it was time for the base layer of the moss.
It's like, hello, I'm Mr. Mouse. Oh look, he's like dribbling. Out, but something like that. I'll just leave it like that for now. A little forest on top. So like moss.
Genius.
Maybe some of these, some fir cones. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's a cute idea.
Yeah, so you just stick. No, but that looks like a perfect bit that will go bam.
Yeah, you put it wherever you want to put it.
You're doing it differently to how I would do it.
Well, this is my side then. And that's your side. Happy with that? Yeah. Stick to your side.
As always, we turned everything into a game. So now Ben had his half and I had my half. But I couldn't resist adding a little bit of a touch of a hydrangea here and there for him.
Because it'll be like, ooh, like that. There you go. Huh? Looking a bit better? Mm-hmm. Did you glue these down?
Glued it all down, apart from the leafy bits.
We added little keys here and there for some extra touches.
Nice one. Oh.
And added moss absolutely everywhere. And I tell you what, you haven't lived until you do a craft where you have to trim and give moss a haircut. Ivy needed to be placed upon this 1,000,000-year-old post box, of course. So he stuck it down and stuck all the individual leaves down on it, and then lashings, a burden of moss on top.
Sprinkle of fairy dust.
And I can now confirm there is no red in sight. In fact, it was quite the contrary on the colour wheel. Green. And now let's move on to the next thing. And this is something I found within a garden centre and I bought it within 5 minutes of seeing it. This beautiful lantern terrarium.
This terrarium's going to be on the table with the guest book, but this is going to be like the star of the show. And within it, I really want to make something that fairy tales are made of, like a fairy tree dangling from the tree, like little bits of nature and things that just highlight who we are as characters. So it's going to be something that, of course, I can keep at home afterwards. I feel like I'm literally like making over my entire house when I'm making all of these wedding things, and it's making me so excited. So today I went to my fairy island and I got a few things.
I was stunned with this twisted birch stick. The fact that there was 2 colours and there was a vine intertwining with it. It was the perfect tree trunk and vines, twisted vines galore. These would make the perfect branches for my tree. So I improvised with a coaster and I came up with a structure. And this wouldn't have been possible without a glue gun.
Ta-da! I love it. Quirky.
I snapped the sticks and then draped them over the trunk, gluing them into place, and they became this very romantic willow tree to place within the centre of the terrarium.
I need a better system. Hang on, I'm seeing if it fits. Hang on, come on tree, fit, come on. Ah, perfect. Perfect, perfect. So I've had some amazing ideas for this. One of them was filling it with musical instruments. So I've had this wooden piano for ages and I've just stained it, and this is great because it kind of can open up. It's lost its legs though, so I think some woodland sticks could be really nice on that, and then it can kind of sit in the bottom, and maybe just like moss can dangle out it and it just can look really enchanted on the floor. And Ben plays guitar. I had to get this, of course. Comes with this guitar stand, a guitar case. I'll experiment and see how they can fit, I think. But first I painted the floor of the terrarium to prepare for the mossy goodness that I'll be placing here later. Added the sticks to the bottom of the piano, and if I were to ever make over a piano, if I could, this would be it. Although Ben has made over a guitar, which we'll see later in this very fashion for the wedding. This box, however, I did make over, but I used it for something else later on. There was something about this terrarium that sparked my inner child massively, and it was the fact that these items were so small and sweet, and it made me fall in love with the idea of a mini doll's house. So prepare for more fairy homes, more miniature things. I cannot wait to create more of these. I then placed everything in the terrarium, and it looked like somewhere I wanted to live and just be. Pretty cool. Pretty damn cool if you ask me. Okay, so I'm going to clear this dining room table and turn it into the table with the guest book. There were a few things that I had made also that I didn't film, such as the H and B initials, but seeing it all together, my vision was coming to life. I just needed one more thing. I'm spending ages looking for things, but then I realised that I put things here especially for the wedding, and that's exactly what I'm looking for here. Ha ha ha. Okay, let me explain. Hello, little boy. Hello, lovely boy. Right, let's get some of this willow in. There, it's all twisted and turning and beautiful. Oh, you can get over there now, Charlie, can't you? Can you get over there now? He's curious. He's like, what's going on here? It's his den, you see. So here we go. So Ben and I had a friend who was going to cut back their willow tree, and we thought, what an amazing idea. We can go get the branches and use them for the secret garden feeling at this table. So now they are dried, it was time to assemble them. Here we go. Love it! I love it. It's Wednesday evening, and I've just put together the final guest book table, and I'm very happy with how it looks because one of my pupils gave me a gift today. It was just a finishing touch,
that it needed. She gave me these snowdrops. Obviously, they're not up yet, but they potentially could be up for the wedding day, so I'll have to keep them watered. We'll see. If anything, they just represent new shoots and things like that, but I just think that is so kind of her when she brought those out. And just like, oh my gosh, this is stunning. I love it. It's just, the vision has completely come true. What a glorious table, but you haven't seen anything yet. Let us begin. The second table I made over, and that was the trees and photos and order of day enchanted table. So the idea is I'm going to have some trees and I'm going to dangle photos of Ben and I from them in the years that we've been a couple, and our baby photos and things like that. And they're in there, so let's get them out. Oh wow! Oh, it's massive! Yay! Oh, perfect. Come on, get on there. Wow, yes. I love it! But these were only a silhouette of what I wanted them to look like. They weren't going to stay white for long. You see, I had a plan to turn them into two ethereal trees, a type of tree you might find in Rivendell, a eucalyptus tree. So I painted a base colour first and then highlighted this with a lighter cream. Beautiful job! There is something about eucalyptus trees that fascinate me, the way they burst open each year and shed their bark. They are symbols of strength, survival and protection. Exactly what we want to bring to this marriage. There was something missing at the bottom of the trees though, so I got the clay out and we worked on our individual trees. My vision of the tree was to be elegant, and Ben's apparently was to be bulky. It looks like a finger or something from here.
It is a finger.
They're cute, I love that.
What
What you've just done.
Just because I'm a creative little boy, that's why.
Oh, well done. So we were in charge of our tree. Oh wow, I love that bit. Banging. I'm going to make a cute little woodland scene on top of this bit. The thing about eucalyptus trees is that because they shed their bark each year, there is no time for moss to grow upon them. That is why they always look so smooth and graceful. So if this tree wasn't going to have moss upon it, it will have an abundance of moss beneath it. Pretty finished. Some say though that Ben's still finishing his tree until this very day. But let's move on to another aspect of the table. Protection bottles, which was Ben's idea. These are little glass vials that are going to have protection powder in them.
And we hang them from trees.
And yeah, we're going to hang them from the trees there, along with pictures of ourselves, and people can pick one up. And yeah, have a little protection bottle from the day with some magical wedding energy attached to it. Okay, well what's in here then? We've got salts.
Powered by sun.
We've got chilies. We've got pepper.
Star anise.
So anise and cinnamon. And it's a grounding concoction. And we are putting it in these little tiny, cute little pots. Half a chili for grounding. Should we have a sign saying these are protection bottles?
Yeah, we can say to people, feel free to take one.
Feel free to pick a protection bottle off our tree. Oh, look how cute! That is cute.
Is that good?
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah, I love it. Right, I have to fill it. Is the lid. Protection earrings. Only I have my ears pierced. That'd be cute. And now we seal them. Just a little seal. My enchanted spell bottles. They just need to be hung up now. All of them are going to dangle from this tree. People can just collect a lovely potion bottle. But also it's going to be full of pictures. So glad I did this. So I used a spare basket and I cut off a little bit of the cheesecloth, and I'm going to put in here the protection bottles that are not going to be hanging up, but of course the other ones are still in here, so we're going to like hang them up also. And we're going to have another sign saying amongst these trees hang protection jars. Oh, I just love this so much. It's so cute. Oh my gosh, I'm loving giving everything a detail, you know, like this is my favorite part. If I could just moss everything for life, I could. But less mossing and more creating. Let's get on with the next idea, and that was the hearts. Hello and welcome to Every Day in January My Life Gets More Disorganised and More Chaotic. So today I am kind of doing a little bit to the tree table. The trees being these bad boys. I was given these hearts from a friend who used them for her wedding. Originally, I thought we weren't going to use them because they just weren't the vibe. But then I got an idea. What if I stained them and got our guests to decorate them and hang them upon the trees? Then we could use them for ornaments upon our Christmas tree. And just another fun element to get people to embrace their inner creative child. I cannot tell you how long it took to string up all of these hearts. So we stained them first, and then my brother-in-law very kindly drilled holes in them, and then me and my sister threaded them up with the string. So yeah, people will decorate a heart and hang it up on one of the trees. I've got the big hearts too here, and I'm going to put them in a different one. The pens to decorate the hearts were acrylic markers, the smoothest pens that write on wood so effortlessly. And of course, I had to do a few hearts myself, just to give the guests a few ideas. So sweet! I then got to work on the plan, placing the trees either side and in the middle, this frame that was going to have the order of events during the day on it. I started enchanting and aging it, and the frame had pegs, so I thought it would be nice to hang some of the wooden hearts up with pictures of us within them, each one stating a different event and time. But to do all of this, I needed pictures. The pictures have arrived, and one of Ben's groomsmen kindly printed them out for us. We have pictures from holidays, Pictures from gigs, pictures just from every wake of life. This is Ben's old cat, Roxy. We love her. Oh, me and my sister when we did a fancy dress party, when we got engaged, pumpkin patch, Greatest Showman party, things from a long time ago. Me looking cute there, loves that. Me and my twin brother there. Me when I was a little babby, and then also Ben when he was a little babby. Over there. The first step, what we're going to do is we're going to cut these out. Some of them are going to be hanging from this. Some of them are going to also be put on these stands, which I've already mossed up. How good of me. And they're going to have a little frame around them and moss too. So yeah, this is me and Ben at my mum's house after an afternoon tea a long time ago. My original plan, I feel like it's going to kind of fail now, was to have the pictures hanging from these trees, but it might potentially fail because they're big pictures, so we'll see. Maybe some of them can hang.
I was gonna do the backgrounds.
Yeah,
Cut those out.
cute. It was me, that was little angel.
Doop doo doop boo. Doo-ba-doo, ba-doo-ba-doo.
This could be a good heart, couldn't it? There we go. So I started the order of the day photos. I really tried to finish them, but my creativity got a hold of me and I had to act spontaneously. I have an idea.
Okay.
And it's with this, okay? Scrapbooking style. What we could do is have all the pictures that we've just cut out, like scrapbook vibes, and then we can make it as scrapbook vibes, like drunk times, baby girl, prom, lol, pummy patch. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And those ones would be silly, like the silly montage ones. That one. Not that one,
Baby girl.
Babby girl.
No, maybe not.
Why not? What's wrong with the babby
No,
girl?
wait.
So young.
All times.
So
Jacques Ouzet.
Jacuzzi. And it'll just be funny.
Maybe it could be notes or text exchanges that we would have done together.
Like that one too.
Yeah.
Like MSN lol.
Gunther Central Park.
Gunther Central Park? Question mark?
So it's the next day, and last night I got a little bit carried away making that scrapbook style pin board. I think I finished it about midnight. It was taking me about 3.5 hours, but I just forgot how much I loved making scrapbooks. I've made scrapbooks before. Yeah, I'm not sure why we're going to put it on the table yet, but here's what I got. There's the TV programs we like to watch. Friends vibes, friends quotes, things that we like to do together there. MSN conversations, me at prom, holidays, different destinations we love, New Year's Eve, gigs that we've been to and we've enjoyed, jacuzzi times, so rich, money, haha. Us, so young, our pets that we love, Charlie, Roxy, Jessie, Orson and Torty, to name a few. There were so many. So yeah, I just tried to make it like a really cool little scrapbook. Bit of a mess, bit of a chaotic mess at the moment, but today my plan is to get it all done. So the first job is putting the order of the day on some of these hearts. So back to the order of the day, and this time I followed through. I finished staining the hearts, stuck the pictures down, mossed them up, and I wanted the writing on the pictures to look like scrolls. First one, complete. So maybe during this process of memories, it's time to tell you a little bit about our relationship, as I'm sharing so much of you anyway. Ben and I met when we were 16. We met very randomly on a bench when we were both hanging out with our friends at about 10 p.m. at night. My mum, of course, thought I was on a sleepover, which I technically was, just in a random field. It was dark and I couldn't see much, but when we spoke, I instantly felt warm, and we had the most memorable, deep, meaningful conversations that two 16-year-olds could have had that went into the night. 3 years later, we were best friends, and after so many MSN and Bebo exchanges, we got together. And now 15 years later, here we are, married. So, one's up there. Oops. I'm just cleaning you up. The camera is covered in moss. There we go. all clean. Charlie's overseeing, aren't you, Charlie? So, got the pictures of me in the tree up there. Down here, more pictures of me and my family and my brother, my sister, my mum, my grandma. Got the pictures in the middle for the day. I'm gonna put a sign at the top saying this is the timetable for the day. Over here is all Ben's photos, and then he's got done the ones on his tree too. I'm just finishing off some of them here. So this is me at university. This is gonna have 2 pieces of wood on it to give it height, and that is gonna have another one underneath to give it height too. Oh my gosh, it looks like a toadstool. Now that is cute. Oh my god, look at this. It's so cool together. I feel like the lady in Titanic. Like, that must be the vibe that I'm going for here, because I can't think of any other vibe that I'm going for. But I'm going to put all the other bits on the table too, because of course I want to see how it all looks together, which is all of those baskets that I made the other week. Really done. It's done. It's done. I say it's done. 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 Bam, 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 bam. So this table, oh my gosh, this has been the longest in the running of creating, because it's just been so many elements to create. Maybe this one, well, to be fair, all of them, to be fair, but like this one has just been, there's so much more sentimental, I think, because of all the pictures. And like I was taking these videos right now, I was just getting a bit emotional, because it's just really lovely, especially seeing Ben as a little bab and me as a little bab. I mean, like, you never know, you just, who knew that it was going to be us down there together like that? And looking so cute. That's not Charlie, by the way, that's actually Roxy, Ben's old cat. She was an absolute angel. So now we venture back to the present day, where I am so thankful for what was, and now what is. The new sprouts are arising again,
And the very metaphor our wedding symbolised has come to sprout. So this Ostara, you will find me clearing old debris in the garden and of course planting my fairy droppings with the intention of everlasting love. A blessed Ostara, enchanted ones. I will see you next time with part 3. All my love, Alwyn.